Hey guys, it's J-Man Powerhouse.
And Steven Jackson 13.
Sucks, Mr. Malibu here.
What's up? It's Ari.
Hi everybody, it's Alana Rivers.
It's more about the connections we've made more than anything else, more about how all of us who do this podcast together are a family. That's really what it's all about.
This podcast is really about determination. You will not find a more determined group of people to get things done and to succeed. It's not like succeeding in your key. You want to have fun while doing this. So it's about determination. It's about loving what we do, having each other, making the connections. It's more about the connections than the actual subscribers or views. It's about how close we've all come with each other. It's about the family. It's about the feels. And we love it. And we love having the feels together. We love the connections we've made. We love the family aspect we've got. Determination and dedication. And most importantly, this podcast is about family and feels.
Hello, my name's J-Man Powerhouse, and welcome to the Lifeisfeelspodcast.
Hey guys, it's J-Man Powerhouse.
And Steven Jackson 13.
Don't steal my entrance. J-Man Powerhouse.
And Steven Jackson 13, the better one.
Sucks, Mr. Malibu here.
And Steven Jackson 13.
What's up? It's Ari.
Hi everybody, it's Alana Rivers.
J-Man Powerhouse. You're listening to the Life is Feels podcast. We hope you stick with us and go through all the emotions and all the feels. The Life is Feels podcast starts right now. Hey guys, it's J-Man Powerhouse, and welcome to special episode number 7 of the Life is Feels podcast. It's today, me and JoeNoJoseph get together, and we talk about Awesomeness TV's Tagged. We talk about his Twitch and his YouTube channels, what his goals are. We talk about Jake and Logan Paul. We talk about what it was like for us trying to podcast and stream during COVID, and we talk about much, much more. This is J-Man Powerhouse, and you're listening to special episode number 7 of the Life is Feels podcast with JoeNoJoseph right now. Pleasure makes diamonds?
Oh yeah. So the way that I did that was back when I was doing the back when I was doing the fitness stuff. I ended up that was how I used my little slogan, you know. Oh yeah, see that was the move. That was literally how it all started.
Talk about Tagged. It's kind of just chilling. Very, very Pretty Little Liars-esque feel. I feel like is why I liked it so much.
What do you mean?
Like just Tagged the show in general.
You're saying it's very as far as the drama and stuff that goes on is very Pretty Little Liars-esque. Yeah, and I'd say how they make not necessarily high schoolers. Well, I guess you'd say high schoolers. How they make high schoolers look like they have they all go strictly off of emotion. There's no actual brains to the operation. Everybody's just hurt and willing to do whatever to figure out what's going on, even attack all their friends and stuff like that.
Yeah. I was kind of with you when I first watched it. I was kind of just like, what high school does all this stuff happen in?
Yeah, see, so when I lived in Virginia, there's Washington State, there's this high school, it's a performing arts school called, I think it was called Castle, or people used to call it Castle just because it was a nickname, but it was set up almost exactly like that school that you would see, what was it, High School Musical?
Mm-hmm.
And you remember when, like, it was just the way that it was. So, like, we were allowed to go out and do a bunch of stuff. Like, we were at the school called Timberline, and it was, like, probably about 2 or 3 streets away from this performing arts school. And we were allowed to, like, go over there because they had, like, a bunch of restaurants. They had a Pizza Hut and a Domino's inside of their cafeteria. So we literally would, like, drive over there, grab food for lunch and stuff like that. Like, that school was my first, like, view of, okay, so this is what shit's like on TV, because it was literally like a TV. Like, I mean, it was literally like an episode of a show or whatever on TV, walking around there. Like, all the personalities, all the little, like, cliques and stuff like that. It was insane. So I can say a lot of it is definitely a little off, but some of it is pretty spot on, especially with, like, the different characters and stuff like that. Like, how you had Elisa in her little gothic ass, and how somehow she was able to find, like, a connection with Rowan and Haley and all of them, even though they were literally all completely different people. Like, it would have been like they were in, like, 5 different cliques, but somehow they all linked up together.
Did the concept of the zoo confuse the hell out of me at first?
What do you mean?
And how, like, just like I was like, when I was watching the last episode of the first season, I was like, well, it's gonna end. They're gonna find out who it is. And then I was like, well, no, there's no way they're gonna end this after 1 season.
Oh, yeah, okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah. I'm kind of shocked that they made it like, oh, there's this whole... Actually, I'm not shocked, because I feel like halfway through the second season, I was like, oh, okay, so I mean, not the second season, the first season, I was like, oh, okay, cool. So, wait, no, second season, because that's when they found out, like, who Monkey Man was, or was it the end of the first season?
It was the end of the first season, and then
that's when he killed himself?
Yeah.
Okay, so it was literally, like, right before that final episode. I think I was even saying it out loud to people in the stream, like, oh, man, here we go. Now, I bet you there's going to be, like, a group or a whole group of different people that are all going to be involved in it and helping him out and stuff at the end, especially once he killed himself. So I'm kind of surprised that they evolved it into that. I'm not going to lie. I thought they were going to drag out not finding out who it was for, like, 2 to 3 seasons, in all honesty.
At first, I thought they were going to drag it out, and, like, at the end of the first episode of season 1, they were going to say it was him, and then, like, it ends with him saying, like, it's not me, and then he kills himself.
Yes. So it to me, it almost seemed like he was being pushed to do something. That's what it felt like for me when I was watching it. It felt like it seemed like they were trying to go with a story on, like, it was bigger than him, if that made sense. Like, that's...
So, go ahead.
No, I was just saying that's definitely the vibe that I was getting.
So we've talked about this before. You said growing up, you would watch Pretty Little Liars, like, all the time.
Oh yeah, my mom got me into it.
Altoid, no TV show is just 1 season. Name me a decent TV show that's 1 season, and I'll say yeah, you're right, but I can't think of any. They
usually all get ruined after the second season.
Mm-hmm.
For me, at least, it seems like all TV shows get ruined at that point.
Okay, Squid Game doesn't count, Jack. That's
and what is it, that one Into the Borderland or whatever?
Yeah.
All of those ones are really good full seasons that kind of just got their story out, you know. But I would say The Revenge, which was kind of like almost like what felt like a Pretty Little Liars for me. But that show was fire. Oh my god, it was all about, like, this lady who I don't even know if I remember, like, the exact story, but pretty much it was literally all in the title. Like, some bullshit happened, and she was like this, like, how do you say it? She was like this person that just used to always help people and always figure stuff out, and then she turned into this, like, crazy, like, always, like, having to, like, get some type of something out of everyone that she was involved with or everyone that she was running into. So now I need to look up the actual plot of this fucking story.
Doesn't count because it's like 2 weeks old, so they haven't had time to make a second season.
I don't think there could be.
Yeah.
Or if there was, I probably wouldn't watch it.
Jack.
Understandable.
We said it's called what? Revenge? You have to send me a link to it because it sounds really good.
Oh, with both of the grapes. Oh, here we go. Okay, here we go. So, a young woman named Emily Thorne comes to the Hamptons and moves into a beach house next door to the mansion of a wealthy family, the Graysons. She now returns to the Hamptons as an adult to get revenge on those who wronged her and her father. So it was pretty much like this. It was like this family who was like the end family. Like they had everything. The kids were all spoiled, shit like that. She used to hang out with them when they were younger, and her father used to work with them as well. So her father actually ended up being not necessarily murdered, but it was like a how do you say it? It was like a money thing. Like I don't remember if he was necessarily stealing or if they had to kill him to cover something up. And she found out, like, she thought that they were always good people because they ended up, like, taking care of her after the father died. They came in, told her all these lies, and then she kind of, like, just discovered that all of this was bullshit, and then moved in and literally just started fucking going crazy on the other family, on the actual family that had helped her and her father, or technically wronged her and her father, not necessarily hurt her, but...
So what, I guess we'll end this, we'll finish tagged here, and then we'll go on. I have a couple other things. What were your highlights of, like, I know as the season went on, I heard you say that it was getting better. What were your highlights like the first season?
I'd say when they started showing more of Elisa, I feel like if it wasn't for her and Haley going through so much of the BS, like having so much I guess you'd say like reflection, like I feel like, what was her name? Rowan. I feel like she didn't really like give me that much. All she really just kind of pissed me off. But like Elisa and Haley kind of got me in my feelings. They kind of helped me like calm down more or less and kind of feel for things. I'd say like the biggest, best thing or whatever for me was it was in season 1, right? When Shorty was going, like when she first figured out that her and that her brother or whatever was messing with Rowan or her cousin or whatever.
So she found out, I think it was the middle of season 1, and then at the beginning of season 2 was when she had found out that they were seeing each other again. Yeah.
Oh, okay, gotcha. So yeah, that right there, I was like, oh, now we're getting lit. I was like that because it felt like they were sneaking around way too much and getting away with way too much for it to make sense.
And then the line on Ash about the sister was also in.
That was in season 1. No, that was season 2. Okay, so yeah, I feel like season 1 was a lot of like I kind of had to like force it down my throat, if that made sense.
Yeah.
And then right at like the last 3 episodes of season 1, I was like, okay, this is getting good. Okay. And then right at the start of season 2, I was like, okay, now I'm into it. I'm sold. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What do you think about Ash and Alicia's dynamic?
I honestly kind of like that he like stronged it, but I don't really like that it. So it seems like what's that other girl's name? The new girl.
Oh Jesus. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't remember her name either. But regardless or not,
Nikki
I feel like
is the girl from the party. Are you talking about the other girl?
The one that he brought the weed to.
I forget her
at the
name.
hospital.
I'd have to look it up.
It felt like she was more. How do you put it? It felt like at first I was thinking that Ash was being like a badass and he was really like there for the growth, like that's why he was pushing her off because he was trying to grow, when in all actuality it seems like the other chick was just giving him more of a reason, I guess, to like feel the way he was feeling and not kind of act out about it. But then that's not, but then again, like he did try hard, but I just feel like he gave up kind of easy. In my eyes, it just seems like he knew how hurt and how like lost she was, and then he was like, "Oh, bet you gonna say some shit like that? Bet I'm gonna go hop on this other female shit now." You know what I mean? It was like it kind of just felt like he just dumped her super easy.
Yeah.
And it was only because he had someone else there, you know?
Yeah. What I guess we'll end with what your thoughts on the guy's bullying Rowan is in season 2.
I feel like it's high school, but their shit is hella deep. Like they be like the fact that they be doing this stuff with the blood, like it's so dark, it's kind of crazy. It's like whoa, like they're going mad far, and I honestly feel like that's just gonna end weird. I don't know what's gonna happen with that, like because I still haven't watched the last couple of episodes, but I don't know. It just seems very, very weird the way that they're interacting with her. And I don't know. Like, it feels weird that nobody else is stepping in to say anything about it. And that it's, like, just normal things. You know what I mean? I guess it's, like, over-exaggerated high school drama just because it is TV. But it's like, fuck, man. Like,
yeah. The girl's name, by the way, is Zoe.
Zoe, gotcha. It's crazy because I'm like looking at a picture of her and I couldn't realize, I couldn't like figure out if it was her or if it was that Tessa chick.
So yeah, that was, I will say, like, that was probably the best show I've seen Awesomest TV make. Obviously, you weren't a fan of Malibu Surf.
That was probably the worst thing they ever made. That was so bad. Zoe is the girl that Altoid. Zoe is the girl that they that the new girl that came in or whatever at the hospital that he had like followed to the hospital and she was trying to like buy weed from him and shit. She was like acting all like, you know what I'm saying, more like, I guess she seemed more like mature or more kind of like standoffish than a lot of the other ones, but she was trying to connect with Ash. Go ahead. My bad for interrupting you.
Yeah, I said I showed you both sides. Malibu Surf also was, like 4 years ago, though. So,
Gotcha.
Yeah. Alright, so a couple other things. Now we're kind of just gonna chill. It was a quick review of Tagged because it's not really a show that people really know that well.
Mm-hmm.
So I wasn't gonna, like, dive deep into it.
How'd you find out about Awesomeness TV?
YouTube.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. So
Awesomeness TV is, I'm not promoting them because some of their shows are shit. But Awesomeness TV is it's kind of like a YouTube TV channel.
Gotcha. Okay, so they just like a production company and they just drop like a bunch of episodes. Okay.
Yeah. That was probably the best show they've had. All their other shows now are just shit. And it was only technically Awesomest TV for, like, the first season. Because then after that, if you remembered, it went to the app thing that no longer exists. So
Really? Oh, you're right, because that's why they put it out on all the other different platforms and stuff.
Mm-hmm. But it's not a high demand show for me to do. It's actually mainly a show I just wanted to cover myself.
Okay.
So, how long, I guess we'll get into you a little bit now. How long have you been doing Twitch?
Twitch now, I guess you could say, like, I would say about a year, but then kind of on and off, really serious, I guess you'd say, about the last, like, 161 days.
Yeah, I was going to say. I noticed that every day when I look, and I was like, all right, even if I'm at work, he's going to show up at 11:59. He'll still be there.
Oh, yeah, come on. And that's it, man. Just trying to, I don't know, I guess through this journey, I've kind of realized that it's...
Atwood says 9 months.
Oh, Jesus. And through this little journey, you know, I've kind of realized that I definitely enjoy the streaming stuff. Really want to do a lot more, like, background work to kind of make things a little better, I guess, if that makes sense. But it's nice. It's definitely nice. Kind of going through the holes of, like, realizing that people are going to come and go. You know, things like that, and that kind of just not getting too hung up on, you know, people kind of hopping in when they feel like it, you know?
Yeah.
But
I'm going to let you comment on what Jack said there. I'm not touching that one.
Send this as he got suspended for too much ass. Oh, God. That was crazy. I still cannot understand that, because I've checked out even way crazier videos, but I feel like somebody had to report it, because it makes no sense.
So, when, again, I haven't had time to, no offense, go back and, like, look at, like, your old things, but, like, when you first started, was it automatically Sidemen reactions, or what was it?
No, it's actually crazy. So, I was only reacting to, like, music and, like, just crazy videos that I'd see pop up. A lot, honestly, it was, like, K-pop and Little Mix. That was, like, what I was reacting to at first. And then out of nowhere, I think I posted I think it was a Tinder video, because I think people were asking. I really can't remember. I think it was a Tinder video or something like that. And then I remember, like, my Little Mix videos used to hit, like, 3 to 5K like first day off tops, like easy. And they would hit like even go up to like upwards of like 20K, 30K. But they were like really short, and I needed like longer form content, if that made sense. And honestly, I kind of just started running out of stuff to like check out. Like I stopped being interested in it, and I didn't want to force it. Like that's kind of always been my thing, is that I never wanted to like just watch it just because like that's what people wanted. I wanted to like actually be into it. So I started getting more into the like longer videos and stuff like that. And I was watching Sidemen videos like as soon as I get done recording and I'd be editing like my regular videos, I was going straight into like Sidemen Sunday or like one of the more Sidemen videos and just hanging out. And then I was like, damn, like I'm watching these by myself. And then I remember this guy messaged me in the DMs, and he was like, hey, like I fucking love watching I think it was, what was it? It was somebody. I can't remember who it was that I was fucking watching. It was somebody, and he was like, I love watching these videos with you, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, have you ever watched Sidemen? And I was like, oh, yeah, I watch them every Sunday. I'm plopped on the couch. That's the goal. You feel me? Like, that's all I do on Sundays. And he was like, oh, you need to start reacting to it. And I was like, can I post that? Like, is that, is it, I was thinking that it was too long. It was too big. I was like, there's no way. And then I remember I posted one, and the first one that I posted, it did all right. But then the next one I posted like same day, and that one just went crazy. And I remember I got like 3,000 or 4,000 subscribers off that video, like just crazy. And I was like, oh man, okay, this could be fun. And like more people were interacting, like a lot more people were just getting crazy in the comments and stuff, like trying to like reach out on a bunch of different other platforms and stuff. And I was like, okay, hold on, this might be something here. And I was like, I already enjoy it. And then I just started kind of branching off from there. With people like kind of asking about it, you know?
Yeah. People are trying to remember. Apparently they can't. No, I'm kidding. What I was gonna say was that, yeah, that was the thing for me too. Again, it's been a while because of COVID, and I'm trying to get back into it and all. But that was the thing for me, is when I first started, there'd be podcasts that were like 30 minutes, and granted it was like 10, 11 people watching, and it still is under 100. I'm working there.
Mm-hmm.
But my thing was, it was like 30 people watching, and people would comment and be like, this is the shortest podcast ever. What are you doing? And I'd be like, okay, A, rude, and B, like, I don't, like, yeah, it's 30 minutes, but it's 30 minutes of my day. So then I kind of like put it in my head where I try and keep most like 40 minutes or more, because it's like, and it like includes the intro and stuff, because it's just like, if it's anything less than 30 or 25 minutes, people are just like, this is stupid. What am I watching? Or
if it's not like super crazy or whatever, then they'll kind of just click off or go do something else. Yeah, I was actually looking at, I think it was a Gary Vee post not too long ago, and he was talking about he had brought up like, oh, if you want more people to come on, blah blah blah, like you should try to have like a 1-question podcast, or like a 5-minute thing or something, to where you like kind of bring people on really fast. You have everything kind of, you know, already written out, kind of tone it all down to about 2 to 3 questions, and just kind of do that, and then go off of like clips and things like that to kind of build things up, you know?
Yeah.
So, I don't know, man. I don't know.
So automatically, my story is a little different. Automatically, your favorite YouTubers were the Sidemen?
No. Like now I'd say my favorite YouTubers are, like the Sidemen, and then I love like gaming stuff like Tim the Tapman and Courage. Nick Merck, stuff like that. That's literally, like my recommendations on like my leisure account, I guess you'd say, is just Nick Merckx, Tim Tapman, Courage, JD, and Sidemen, and like all of their channels and stuff like that. So if it's not that, then I'm probably not clicking on it, or I'll watch it after I've like dived into all of their stuff. But I'd say like my original favorite YouTubers was definitely, sucks to say now, but definitely like Logan Paul, Jake Paul. I'd say one sucks to say. I wouldn't say the other sucks to say. Then I'd go into like Roman Atwood. Like I used to watch Roman Atwood all the time. Oh man, that was the best, because he would post daily. So that was like all I was watching back in the day was Roman Atwood. I didn't even watch any gaming stuff, and then out of nowhere, I started like looking up videos for the games that I was playing. Like, cause I never used to do that. I was always kind of just play or go off of like the classes and stuff that like my friends would give me for COD. And then when Modern Warfare came out, I finally started to I finally started to look up like builds and stuff like that on weapons, and then that's what got me into like Tim and Tatman Courage and all them, and then I was watching like Fortnite stuff with them and whatnot. It was really the rise of Fortnite. I'd say like that's what really like got me into watching content, and before that I was literally only watching like Netflix movies. Like I would come home every day and I'd just be watching series on Netflix. That was my ting.
Well, one of those guys you mentioned isn't even a YouTuber anymore, so I guess I'll transition to Jake Paul since you brought him up. I was gonna. Thanks for the transition, because if there wasn't a transition, it would have been a terrible way to introduce the topic. Fan of Jake Paul currently? Not a fan of Jake Paul currently. I guess we'll start there.
I hate like, I guess I'd say I respect what he's doing, but I'm not necessarily a fan. I respect it because I see that he's able to like entice people and kind of get them to go along with what he's got going. And I guess that's technically been like what he's always doing. It's just a lot uglier now in the boxing scene, and like kind of just seeing him the way he has to put himself out there to like do the weird stuff. But it kind of opened my eyes in a way to see that it's not necessarily new. It's just kind of like, I feel like I'll say he's gotten better at it. Let's put it that way. Because I still feel like you see those times where he comes on stage and he's talking and he's like kind of mumbling or like trying to figure out what to say, and you can kind of see that he's nervous. And I feel like you can't have those. Like my thoughts is like you're either 100% that person or you're not. You know what I mean? You can't be like halfway something. And I feel like he's like halfway like that like badass person. But then he's like, he wants the like love and respect of someone who's not an asshole. He
wants to be McGregor.
In a way, yeah. In a way, he wants to be feared, and like he wants people to like call him a badass like McGregor. But then he wants to be like loved and respected, like how would I put it? Like somebody like Mayweather. Like he wants people to talk about
Mayweather loved and respected. What?
Oh yeah, dude. People fucking love Mayweather.
According to Logan Paul, not the people in Puerto Rico.
Oh, like when it comes down to who's coming there to do stuff and be there for you, you know what I'm saying? You got to give it to Logan because he's something more to talk about. Mayweather is going to go places and visit places and do what he wants to do just because Logan's going to go there. He has to make a big deal. He has to donate to people and become part of the community just so they don't kick him out. Floyd Mayweather can just show up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like Logan Paul has to do more to be to like be loved, if that makes sense, because a lot of people's first thought of him is like this fucking asshole.
Well, yeah, for well reason that I'm not gonna get into. I will say that Logan Paul, and I've said it before in your chat, and I'll say it here. Logan Paul has evolved, and Jake Paul's gotten worse. That's pretty much what it is.
Yeah, I'd say they both have definitely leveled up and evolved, but I'd say Jake took the dark side and Logan took the good side, if that makes sense. Like it seems like Logan's getting a lot of easy wins because he's kind of falling back and like letting things happen. He's kind of always been like something that like I've always respected him for is how he kind of waits a little bit, finds something that really likes, gets like gets really motivated behind it, you know, and then all of a sudden he'll just go and attack that for like 6 months, 7 months, and like that's his thing, and he's 100% on it. He's grinding for it. He's like, you know what I'm saying, trying to meet everybody around that thing, like the same, like this kind of like the stuff he did with Pokemon. And like he's trying to like, you know what I'm saying, get in there. Then as soon as he like wins, takes over, becomes like the most talked about thing in that, then he just kind of goes off and relaxes and kind of just enjoys himself, if that what makes sense.
So if I were to ask you when you first started Twitch streaming, if you thought you would see a Logan Paul and Sidemen collab, would you have called me stupid?
No, it would have been it was the only one that really made sense. That's at least how I feel. I feel like that one made the most sense ever. Like it's all about views with YouTube, man. No matter if you hate or love the person, I would have thought they would have did something a little more like forfeity and like did something where they could have attacked each other, like a punch reaction type thing or something, or like something like that. Like I thought they would have definitely did something that involved them like kind of making him more of the butt of the joke. I feel like it was. I've always hated. Like this is my thing, right? I feel like people have to be real about stuff, you know. And I feel like people always have a lot of stuff to say about people, and then they like link up with people and like meet up in real life, and then they just like become friends out of nowhere. You know what I mean? Rather than like allowing everybody else to see. Like I feel like it would have been nice for us to see like the original meeting, like when they fucking all sat down and talked, you know what I mean? And like of course they had to get the first little bits out. Like I bet Logan probably had something to say about one of their comments about him, and then they probably had something to say about something that he said in the past, and then they like got those laughs out, and then they were like good to go, you know? Like I feel like sometimes your audience has to kind of see that development rather than just being thrown into, oh yeah, if you what do you call it, if you didn't know, we're all cool, you know, everything's respectable going on here, blah, blah, blah. We all respect each other. And it's like, I mean, yeah, probably now because they had the conversation. You know what I mean? I don't know. I just feel like I wish you could see more. I wish you could, like, know more. Because I feel like from the way that, like, the jokes were thrown around and, like, little hits and things like that, little digs, and even with the family thing. Because I feel like even if I had a brother like Jake Paul and people, like, talked about him the way that they do, but then try to, like, big up me, I would still feel some type of way about how they chose to like see my brother without knowing him. You know what I mean?
I think Logan understands the hate Jake gets, and he understands why he gets it. So that's why when like KSI and all are just like on Jake, Logan's like, well, yeah, he's kind of a nutcase.
Oh yeah, for sure. But I feel like my thing with Jake is that it seems like everybody who ever like meets him always has something different to say than the people who just watch his videos and see what he does online. You know what I mean? Like every time I've ever seen anybody like come on and talk about like their interactions or whatever, or what it was like, they're always like, oh man, the guy's great. The people who matter, not like the people who are like clout chasers and shit. I'm talking about like either other famous people or other like important people that like I look up to and things like that, who have run into him or come across him. They've always been like,
FaZe Banks.
Yeah. Wait, what do you mean?
FaZe Banks would be a guy that like he said that like even when they had the beef, he didn't really like not hate. He never really hated Jake.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Oh, you're talking about the stuff with like Alyssa and all that back in the day.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, see, oh yeah, so damn, I totally forgot about Banks and all them. Yeah, I was watching like Banks and Rice Gum and Alyssa and all that back in the day too. Oh, that's crazy. He reminds me of Logan Paul. Like he's like the bad version of Logan. Because I feel like Logan, like kind of every time something big comes out, he hops his way into it. And then every time Rice Gum finds something that a lot of people are talking about it, he kind of fits himself into it. And then whether it's good or bad, Logan kind of likes to choose the good stuff. Or if it's bad, he'll make it good and do something good. Whereas Rice Gum kind of just dives in and goes straight in for the hate.
So growing up, was this what you wanted to do? I mean, obviously, growing up, it was a different thing then than it is now. But
no,
like,
I'd say me growing up, I always knew that I didn't want to like do a regular job or anything like that. I always knew I wanted to like make my own schedule and figure out how to like never feel like I was working. That's always kind of been my thing. So I'd say really just anything around those lines is kind of where I'm going. It's not necessarily like just YouTube or just that. Like if I could find something that was around the same things and do that and still manage to kind of come on here every once in a while, I would definitely do it. It's really just try to be self-employed, try to still be able to like keep my happiness. I don't know, waking up at fucking 6-7 o'clock to go punch a clock for 11 or 12 hours, it just sucks. Whereas on here, I could, if I'm mad or upset with the day, I could just be mad and upset and watch a bunch of shit that kind of goes along the lines of that, or play a game that kind of just helps me get my anger out, or, you know, do that. Whereas at work, I got to fake it and smile at people. I was always like the server guy. I've always worked in like those kind of jobs. And so I've just kind of, you know, I don't know. I've always been a talker. I always knew I wanted to talk to people and do stuff like that, but never kind of knew what I was going to really do.
Was your obviously, it's different now because I thought you said Adam wasn't there, but originally, like when you were all, what was the plan to like hype up his channel? Was it to hype up your channel?
The original plan was, so how I've always thought ever since I was like in high school and shit, and like when I was first like kind of trying to get my group of friends to like kind of smarten up with how stuff goes. I've always told people that if you have one person that is reaching for something or like is getting the kind of like attention or kind of, you know, has the pull to do something, you got it, but you all want to do something in that same field or around that, what they're doing, you know what I mean? Then everybody should put in all of their resources and push that one person to be bigger than what they are while still maintaining themselves. And then once that person takes off, then everybody will be able to be big around that person. You know what I mean? If that makes sense, like kind of like that one person making it is the way to for everybody's dreams to come true. You know what I mean? Especially instead of everybody sitting there trying to like rewrite the wheel when everybody could work together. So the plan with Adam was to try to sit down and pick either my channel or his channel. And the thing with him and what I kind of realized was like he's really good at the background stuff, but he doesn't want to be the background guy because I guess he's always wanted to be the talker, but whenever he comes down to like getting in front of the camera or any of that kind of stuff, he's always like too nervous or won't actually do it, but he keeps telling himself that like that's something he wants to do. So instead of like choosing my stuff, he was like, let's go with my channel. So I was like, all right, bet. Let's like put our resources in or whatever and just focus on you or whatever. So for that like month or two after we made that decision, he wasn't trying to like do anything or like commit to it. And he was like just really nervous on doing it. And you could tell because he was kind of doing the like depression thing that like people do, you know, when you're like fighting things. And he was kind of just coming home, going straight to sleep or like, you know, just making up hella excuses. And I was like, all right, well, if you don't want this, then we got to like figure out, you know what I'm saying, what else we can do. Because either you got to, you know what I'm saying, bring something to the table in another way, or we kind of just got to go our separate ways. And that was kind of just how that went. It was just weird. I don't know. I've always been weird because stuff makes sense in my head, but I really suck at explaining it to other people and making it make sense. And then I suck at understanding like what they're saying. Like
what the mind process with him there was, like what exactly.
Yeah, like why it doesn't make sense to be like, hey, yeah, this guy has already almost got like fucking 20,000 subscribers. He's doing something every day. You know, it's already picked up. In my head, it makes way more sense for us to be like, all right, bet, well, let's push my shit. You know what I mean? And then when we get your shit on there, then it's just going to be a fucking easy thing. You know what I mean? We'll be playing games together. We'll be doing a lot of 2-player stuff. It'll be lit. And we'll both go far. You know what I'm saying? And then I've always been the guy, even here, like, everything that I get goes in either into the house or into something to kind of aid in just making the living situation better, if that makes sense, you know? And it just always seemed like I was down to do more extra grind besides work. Like, he's like, as soon as he gets his paycheck, like, that's it. Like, that's the only money he's counting on. Like, there's no, like, I need to do a side job or I need to do something else if I go broke before the next paycheck. You know, he's just like, oh, well, that's it. That's all I got, you know? And I'm the kind of person where I'm like, I get the check. Okay, cool, bet. Now I need to do the stuff like now. Like, I charge for the music reactions and stuff for, like, upcoming artists. So I'm, like, always hitting people up on Instagram, cycling through tags, trying to find artists and stuff like that. And it's so easy. And I'm like, hey, we could be living way a lot better if we were both doing the shit. But it's like one person's doing 90 and one person's doing 10. And it just, had to realize that nobody's going to help you, you got to kind of get out there and do it.
Yeah, that was the thing for me. Originally when I had first started, there was 2 or 3 other people, and then there was some issues, and we faded off. But to me, it's always more been I always knew that I was a talker, so I knew this was something that I wanted to do. And the real reason it only stopped for a year was because I didn't feel comfortable doing it during COVID.
Gotcha.
Which I took a long time to think about. I was like, all right, maybe it'll bring some light into people's lives. Maybe it'll, I didn't really consider me how many views I would get. It was more just is this the right time in the world to try and pull people back together when everyone's apart? and I didn't feel like it was the right thing to do at that time. COVID still being a thing, I'm leaning more into it, like doing stuff like I'm doing here today, but I'm still kind of just waiting it out. Like, I don't want the world to be perfect, because that's not going to happen. But like, I don't want a national pandemic going on.
Oh, for sure. And see, I was definitely feeling that way as well. When like all of the lockdown stuff first started to happen, and like my sister and even like my mom and dad were all getting switched over to like working from home and stuff like that, and they were talking about like how weird things were. But then for me, it almost felt like this was like an escape, I guess, from all of that, in a sense. And it was like being able to talk to everybody every day and see all the people, you know what I mean? Get to talk to people in comments and stuff like that. And it seemed like it did at first seem like things were kind of just pointless. Like, it was like, what am I doing? Like, even people were like, oh, there's like, I had to get comments sometimes. It's like, oh, there's all this stuff going on, and this is what you're looking at, or this is what you're putting out. But then, you know, I'd get messages from other people, and they'd be like, hey, man, like, it's been insane. I've been pulling like 20-hour shifts at work, like, especially like little nurses and stuff like that. And it's so dope being able to come home and have like 8 videos of yours to just sit down and watch, like, especially since like a lot of people, the way that like I've kind of gotten to look at it is that a lot of people were watching a lot of the videos that I check out, and they always like wanted to watch it with someone else or see someone else kind of check it out and enjoy it the way that they enjoyed it. And like, that's kind of what I guess kept me going, is knowing that I may not be making a difference in the way that like I like originally thought, but I'm still definitely making a difference by, you know what I'm saying, making a couple more people smile, or bringing them out of a mood that they were in, or, you know what I'm saying, just kind of giving them a place where they can come and hang out whenever they feel like they're alone.
Yeah, it was that for me too, but also around the time late when COVID had started, like, I had lost my other host. He was going through some things, and so then it was kind of just me. And I guess not necessarily I couldn't bring myself the energy to do it, but like, I was kind of just like, actually within COVID was actually when I started watching. No offense, I didn't start with you. I just started watching Twitch in general. And like, so I would be like, yeah, I was off that year, but for that year, literally, you can ask me how many Twitch whispers I sent you, and I wouldn't be able to tell you. Of me just being able to try and
reach
find
out.
People. Yeah. And I still do, like, constantly. Obviously, I've reached out to you a couple times. We finally got this going today. But to me, it was always and we talked about this too, reach out to the people you want to work with. Don't reach out to people just because you need people to work with.
Exactly. I feel like the conversations, everything's a little better, especially since you kind of have a better understanding of them.
And that's what me and you had talked about that originally when we were planning this. We were like, you were like, don't reach out to me if you just want to do it because I'm me. Like, do it if you actually like the content. And I remember saying to you, no, I'm not just doing it because you're you.
Oh yeah. Now that's definitely a big one.
Yeah, and I've told you before, like, the plan was always not Face Clan, because that's big, and I never liked Team 10, but like, the plan was always to get a group of people, or and it still is, a group of content creators, or podcasters, or musicians, a group of anything, and just run with it. And just see how it goes. Obviously, right now, that's not too great, because I'm on my own. But that's always been the plan, and that still seems to be the plan. Just no one answers their Twitch whispers, apparently. So, kind of
way better, bro. Get on Twitter.
I have a Twitter.
That is way better to get people to answer and like conversate. And I would say too, like, for the bigger people that you want to do, try that like 5-minute thing. Try to be like, hey, I have 3 questions, or whatever I want to ask. And I feel like something dope could be, like, to try to make it for like TikTok. You know what I mean? Like those like quick little videos or whatever. Like, it could definitely be really big. It could get a lot of views. It could definitely be big.
Yeah, and to me, and also I'll have some, like, to me, it was never. And it still isn't, it wasn't really about the views. I don't know about you. It was more about just doing something I liked.
Oh yeah, I mean, shucks. If you can't tell by now, for me, I mean the main channel, I try to work towards like the views and whatnot, but the more JoeNoJoseph channel, like if I was going for the viewership, I'd be doing it so wrong. But you still need somebody out there, you know what I mean, to reach people to reach, and I guess more or less what I meant was not necessarily the views, but the reach would be better. You'd be able to get more people involved in your conversation and make your conversation bigger, you know?
Yeah. I will say, some of the, I did, some interviews with, now I'm promoting myself, as I just said, it's not about the views. I did some interviews with some of the voice actors from the first Life is Strange. And those popped off. Yeah, they're up on my channel. So those had popped off. You didn't talk about that. What did you think about Life is Strange? You happy I got you into it, or?
Yeah, I thought it was dope. I like those kind of games where I always have to be in the like mode for them, if that makes sense. I really enjoy sitting down and just kind of playing straight through it, and I wish that's how I did it, rather than kind of like taking the stops and pauses how I did then and there too. And I definitely enjoy them and want to like get more into like those decision games for sure. Like the Telltale style.
Yeah, I would say play Tell Me Why, because that is also a great game, Atwood, right?
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
I just said that. I'm not putting that in this. Yeah, and it sucked for me too, because like going into it, like Life is Strange was the first thing, and obviously I think I've told you this because of what the podcast was originally named after Life is Strange. But to me, like after that, I would start following the voice actors, and I remember all the voice actors would play like Telltale games. So then for me, like that was what I was into. So once Telltale like died, I was lost. I was like, what the hell do I watch now? Because it was kind of just like okay, what got me into this video game atmosphere has now died. Like, what do I do?
Gotcha. I feel like it's still dead.
It
so
is.
hard. It's so hard, man. It's so hard to just, I don't know, enjoy. But I feel like I'm kind of getting back into it though right now, because I've been loving games. Like I'm really loving FIFA. It pisses me off, but I'm loving how much stuff there is. Kind of like you kind of got to get back into things. Like I feel like I used to spend months, weeks and months or whatever trying to like learn strategies and stuff for games, and now I kind of just hop in, play it for 20 minutes and then get off. But I don't know, it just seems like I'm definitely loving things a lot more.
Yeah. Favorite so you've played, what have you actually played that you've put on your channel? So you said Resident Evil, right?
Yes, and I actually don't know if I actually uploaded that or not, but I know for sure the Call of Duty campaigns have been up there, and I think Battlefield campaigns have been up there. I haven't really uploaded too many like full on like playthrough videos. Usually what happens is I'll like play through it and then I'll get lazy for a couple days and not edit the video. And then I'll go back and I'll look at the video, and because it's so old, I'll almost be mad at myself. And then I'll be like, oh, nobody cares about this now. Like I'll lose the like interest in it. So I won't upload it, if that makes sense. But I have been editing some of the first FIFA stuff that I ran through. And the, what do you call it? Another episode of the It Takes Two finishing or whatever that I did with Adam. So that'll be up there too here soon. And I kind of just want to, get past that, I guess, mental block of like not uploading it, more or less, because it's new. It's like a new thing for me, trying to like learn that style of editing and trying to like put myself out there to actually make it good. Like before, nobody would see it, so I wouldn't really be too nervous about it, but now a decent amount of people will get the notification for it, and I'm like, oh shit.
Like, here we go.
Yeah.
Like, it's actually real now. Yeah, that's to me too, is like, and I've noticed that it still is this way. Like, editing was like never a thing for me, and still isn't, where it's a job. Like, I don't find it as a job to edit. I find it like fun, because it's editing what you've worked on, if you know what I mean.
Oh yeah. definitely understand that. See, mine, I feel like is more of an overwhelmness because I'll go through and I'll have 22 videos to edit through at the end of the stream, and then the next day I'll have 22 more. So 2 days I'll leave. 2 days I'll get behind. Like right now I have over 40 or 45 gigs of videos of just YouTube videos that are just sitting on my drive. They're like, okay, nigga, get in here and edit it. It's like one of them's like 4 hours long and it has like 12 videos in it. It's like, it's just a lot.
Jack said complete opposite of Joe.
Oh yeah, it's more or less just I get overwhelmed. So I want to start focusing a lot of the videos that we check out on stream to the more JoeNoJoseph channel, and kind of just letting that be like a VOD upload where there's not much edits. But I want to start putting a lot more work into the main channel videos, like the Simon Sundays and stuff, kind of adding in little things here and there to just kind of make it more of an experience.
Yeah. All right. I guess you have anything else to say? I think we're gonna wrap it up. I know you got a lot of. It's Monday, so you got a lot to.
Oh yeah, today is gonna be a long one.
I'll be around because I'm off on Mondays, so I'll be around.
Bet that. Nah.
Anything else?
Nah, I got nothing.
Say?
I got nothing.
All right. You want to promote yourself? I guess, which really makes no sense. I have like. But go ahead.
Check me out, man. JoeNoJoseph pretty much everywhere. JoeNoJoseph Reacts, and you can pretty much find all this stuff just by typing that in.
All right, guys.
Yeah. Shouts out to the homie Life, man. Thank you so much for all the love, for pulling up all the time. You know what I'm saying? This was actually really fun. We definitely got to do some more, especially after I finish Tagged, and then we kind of start something else new to dive into. I really want to get some. I feel like what could be fun and something that we could do together is kind of do these little podcasts built around shows and stuff like that, and kind of just like actually start watching some stuff. Kind of like how if you've ever watched Will and E and James, and how they go back and like look at like old shows or stuff like that, and then kind of just come back on and just talk about how crazy it is. You know, feel like it could definitely be clippable, be really interesting, and then we could also find a lot more people that are into weird stuff. So I am here for it.
Guys, I'll see you later.
All right, see you later, Busky. It was awesome.
Thank you so much for listening to special episode number 7 of the Life is Feels podcast. You can email us at gmail.com, lifeisfeelspodcast@gmail.com, if you have any questions or anything you want to talk about, any ideas, any collab ideas, anything. You can subscribe to us on YouTube, Life is Feels Podcast. You can follow me on Twitter at Life is Feels. You can follow my podcast partner, Stephen Alch, at Stephen Alch13 on Twitter. Check out our music partner, Riley Hawke, at Hawke Music on Twitter. Riley Hawke Music on YouTube. SoundCloud, search Riley Hawke. HawkeMusic.com. You can check out our friends, Team Turtle Docs, as they play video games like Life is Strange. Check out Steven Fantasy, the guy who helped make our logo, at Steve_Fantasy on Twitter, StevenFantasyDesign.com. Some people I now follow on Twitch, so you can check out twitch.tv/babycobra, twitch.tv/Orvid, and twitch.tv/GenX, and twitch.tv/JoeNoJoseph, who I will leave in the description below, twitch.tv/AVEE_II. You can check out the Tale of Aspirin podcast with Haley Hayes, just because I think it's a really cool podcast. And you can go to 7cups.com. 7 Cups is a free care and therapy session. It's online, free with counselors, so you will never feel alone. That's www.7cups.com. Thank you so much for listening to special episode number 7 of the Life is Feels podcast. That's all, folks. Always take your shot. Feels is life. And remember, folks, life is feels. Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you next time.